Hi, it's Kelsey with Junk Journal Magic, and today I'm going to go through just a couple things that Erin at Coop's Place Craft was wondering about. And you know, there's something else that I just thought of. I saw this box Erin sent to me, and I thought, why not see if ATCs fit in here? That's a great use for this, Erin. So anyway, you were asking about, well, okay, you were thinking about your Rolodex with those cards, and you wanted to put the Memdex cards on there. Well, this is, I bought 2 of these decks. These are actually firmer than I remember, and I bought this at Etsy. I hadn't even opened it. This is crazy. I don't know how long I've had this thing. Hobbies, let me tell you. I think paper crafting just turns into tool hoarding. Wanted to see, let's see. Here's the holes. They are, oh, they don't look exactly the same. Let me just do this. They aren't as tall. But I'm sure, let me get my thing with the little prongs on it, or whatever they are. Now this is a card for when my husband was a working geologist, and those holes look even further apart. But here's a Rolodex I bought at the thrift store, and those work. This punch works. It's the side that's shorter. That's what this punch punches. Here, we'll do it again. See, it's shorter. This has longer legs or throat or whatever you want to call it. And that just fits right on. Oh, I'm going to do it. I am going to punch holes in something that I thought I would turn into an ATC. You could do it on in like this. Oh, I don't want to punch that. I don't want to ruin it. Let me find something in here I can punch. One of these green ones would be okay. Okay, let me see. Now I want to kind of center it because, you know, I'm nuts like that. Okay, oh, isn't that, I don't think it's centered, but hey, I don't notice it so much. Look at that. But they don't go down in there. And these were on Amazon. They're Rolodex. I guess that's they made their own cards, the brand. 100 simple cards. There's the UPC code, if that helps. And here's a code up here, 67558. That fits. Yes, it fits. But I punched a bunch of holes in that one. So anyway, there you go. You can use, if your cards, does it tell us the length of anything there? Let's see. This is the one I bought. Where's the 0? Here's the 0. We'll put it right in the middle. And that is exactly 3/4 plus 7/8 of an inch between the slots. 7/8 of an inch. So if your cards with the holes have 7/8 of an inch right here, then this is the punch you need to punch more holes and new things. Does that help? Does that help, Erin? Okay. Now that I have a giant mess on my desk, let me see how far apart are these, because now I need a punch that punches holes this far apart. Maybe I have one in all of my dies. This is actually 1 3/8 for the professional grade Rolodex. Okay. So then, Erin, you were looking at buttons. Now, this is one of those old pickle jars shaped like a barrel. And I was putting all my bone buttons in here. And then one day I realized I messed up when it was putting the regular buttons in here. So now I have to go through and separate them all. So whenever I want a little white button or something, I just look through here until I find one. Hopefully one day I'll eventually get to the point that I'll use them all, and there will only be bone and shell buttons left in there. This is shell. because there's actually a little bit of shell on the outside. So that one will always stay in my jar. And this one is plastic. You can just tell it looks kind of matte, and it's warm. It's not cold. The glass and the shell are cold. This one is not cold. Oh, this one is. You can feel it, and it feels glassy, and really tap it on your teeth. And then plastic does not jingle when you tap. It doesn't have that ringing sound. So just the shell and the bone look kind of old and worn because they've been cut off clothing, and the edges may not look perfect because they get chipped. So if that doesn't matter, it's still perfect in my eyes. So there. This one's definitely plastic. It has all these words pressed into it. A lot of bone and shell buttons have interesting backs. This needs to have that shank cut off because it no longer is functional. It's been broken and there's no hole. But that gets to stay in my jar. It's priceless. This thing is plastic. Well, it doesn't have a shine to it, but it sure sounds like bone or glass, except it's got this pressed hole right here that looks like this came from a mold. It's probably glass, and I'm not real into the glass that much. But see, this has some interesting shank type hole. It's been drilled into the back. That's bone. You can tell just by the look of it. I'm sorry, shell. That's shell. It shines a little. That's man-made. They're all man-made because they're buttons. That's the tool function, but you know, the material is either man-made or natural. These are both glass, I can just tell. This one is made to look like it's got mother of pearl on one side, but you can tell that it's got this perfect layer here, and it's been made in a mold. Anyway, so I love to have the little things that are collectible because they take up less space. And I keep almost all of my antiques right now in one curio cabinet. So I hope that helps, Erin. There's a lot of stuff in here that shouldn't be in here, and I just threw those buttons back in here that weren't supposed to be in there, but that's okay. It'll give me something to do one day. It's not like I need to clean the craft room.